Welcome to our Devos. We are talking about taking inventory. Most particularly, we've been talking about stewardship. And this week in particular, we're talking about money. And, everybody loves when the church talks about money, but we're talking about how to not be broke. And one of the ways to not be broke is the discipline of planning. Now, I'm going to say some things, and it's going to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but I want you to hear me on this. There's two ways that people go wrong when it comes to planning in their finances. The first is they make a plan that is so rigid that if they even veer off of it, the whole thing falls apart. And that's a problem I have with some budgeting methodologies and some ways to look at things. And you plan so tightly that if there's an unforeseen expense or if there's something that comes up, you have no backup plan, and your plan is so rigid that you fall off and then you never get back on again. That's one extreme. The second extreme is where most people fall. They don't have any kind of plan. They're waking up and they're living for the day. They don't know what's going to happen financially. They don't know what's going to happen in their business. They didn't think about their future. They didn't know how to save. They don't have any plan to pay off debt. This is where a lot of people fall. And again, I mentioned him yesterday, but this is where Dave Ramsey's entire career is built, is trying to help people to come out from under that type of bondage. Well, you need to have some sort of plan. Now, that plan could have multiple layers. You need to have a plan for how your money is spent, how your money is managed. In terms of if you're married, couples, how you come together and manage money. Your plan needs to include how you're going to spend on things that you enjoy. We talked about that over the weekend, that one of those killers, those things that make you broke, is the leisure. What's the plan for that? I mean, Christmas is not an emergency. It comes every year, Lord willing, you're going to have Christmas. Vacation is not an emergency. It's going to happen. You're probably going to take your kids on some sort of vacation. If you're paying for school, we have our kids in Christian school. That bill is not going to surprise us in August when we're sending them to, it's not going to be like, what? We owe them? Yeah, we owe money. It's going to happen. So there has to be a plan where you're looking and going, okay, I know this is coming up. I know that I have to do this. I know that I have to make these payments. And a lot of times what we're doing is we're living so much for the moment that we're not examining the plan down the road. Take note of Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. And the hastiness is where the danger is. It's when we're hasty. It's when we make a snap decision. It's when we decide, I'm going to spontaneously do this. And we have no plan at all. We have no idea how we're going to pay for this. We have no idea how we're going to earn enough money, like with our careers. We have to figure out, what can I do? How much money do I need to earn? I own a small consulting business, and it's like everybody else's business. It's up and down. It's up and down. And so 2024 or 2023 was really good. 2024 was good. 2025 was nasty. And everybody that I know that owns a business, they have the same problems because you don't know how it's going to be. Well, if I didn't have a plan for other income or a plan to change things, then I'd be in trouble. And most people start businesses and the businesses fall apart, not because the idea was bad, but because the plan was executed improperly and there was no financial runway. So you want to make sure that you are thinking through, okay, well, don't think about now in terms of what I do. Think about what's going to happen in a couple months. If what I buy right now, I know I can afford this payment, but don't ask yourself, can I afford this payment? Ask yourself, how much is this actually going to cost me? Because there might be a time when you can't afford to make a monthly payment on something, and then you're going to be in trouble. And this is where planning comes in. Do you have a plan for your retirement? Do you have a plan for an emergency fund? Do you have a plan for what you're going to do if something happens with your roof? There has to be some sort of a plan. And if you have a plan, then it makes you broke proof. You have to try to put yourself in a position to recognize that things are going to come up, things are going to change, but when you plan and when you think through what a year looks like, it actually gives you more peace about your finances than ever before.